I had a comment coming on the channel within the last 2 weeks. It was kind of funny. I want you to address this because it was about you, man. It was talking about you.
Oh, I'm okay.
They were talking about you.
I got thick skin.
No, so they said, what did this guy say? He said, keep insurance in insurance place and investment in investments place.
Wonderful. So on that particular video, I talked about buy term and invest the difference and why it actually ends up being a failure for the average person.
Before you get into that, why would you think that person would say something like that?
Because of lack of comprehension.
There you go. Now, right. Where's the lack of comprehension?
Well, the lack of comprehension is they hear what they want to hear in order to respond the way they want to respond. Because if you actually listen to the video, if you compare buy term and invest the difference, and I say, hey, buy term and invest the difference, it leads to failure, yada, yada. Term is insurance. Term is insurance. Investing is an insurance.
Right.
But the other part that I think really needs to be stated is the ability to grow money does not require investing. You can grow money without investing.
Of course.
And I think a lot of people don't.
Savings account is a perfect example.
I think a lot of people don't think about that. They just kind of like, oh, if I'm going to grow capital, like I've heard some podcasts, like a guy says, oh, insurance policies with cash value. And then he equated cash value to investing. So really quickly, when you talk about insurance, the reason why it is not an investment, I repeat, insurance is not an investment. The reason why it's not an investment is because investment means to risk for the purpose of possible gain. A lot of you have been taught that high risk, high reward, that investment kind of jargon, but in reality, when you listen to high risk, it's talking about high volatility, which means there's a high probability of not making money. You haven't attached investing with that aspect that it's possible to not make money, right?
So you're saying investing is gambling?
Investing is totally gambling, right? Now, the only difference is
100%.
The only difference is that there's ways to mitigate loss. There's ways to actually be a little bit more seasoned. Now, the reason why investing can be gambling is because most of the time when people invest, they speculate. They're not necessarily investing. Like for you, investing isn't really gambling that much, right? Because you're investing in the real estate and you understand real estate. This is something I have to go over with almost every client when they call me and automatically because they saw me on a real estate podcast. I want to do real estate. They may not really want to do real estate. They want the returns of what they believe real estate can provide. So what I say is there's a higher profit margin in selling a dozen cookies. And they're like, what are you talking about? What I'm saying is flour, milk, sugar, you can invest in those and you can sell a dozen cookies at $10 a dozen.
Pizza.
That money that you've made on that is a higher profit margin in percentage than what you would get in real estate. And it was less risk. So I always teach people, get your cash flow up first in things that you are good at, right? If you're great at, this particular thing, do that first. Get your cash flow up. Learn the aspect of supply and demand. Learn what's going out. Learn what's coming in. Learn what kind of profit margin you want to set for whatever you want to set it. And then start saying, okay, I want to do real estate. Because a lot of people are trying to hop into real estate and they don't understand business.
Thank you.
That's a problem.
A lot of people look at real estate as a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah, they do.
And it's only because of what they're sold. It goes back, 30, 40 years. Guys are like, make money in real estate, no money down, courses, and all that stuff. It's possible.
Right.
I do it all the time. No money out of pocket real estate. But I've built up, again, skill sets. I do have access to capital.
Right.
When I first started, I didn't have money. I had $250, but I had skills.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So, I developed a skill set of learning how to speak to people on Wall Street before I got into real estate. So I wasn't necessarily starting from scratch. Even though I was. The reason why people invest in the coaching programs.
I would take your skill set and that amount of money over a lot of money in those
Over a lot of money with no
Absolutely.
skill set. Any day.
It took me a year and a half to learn how to make money in real estate, though. 13 months, first 13 months, on that 13th month, I made $1,500 by accident. This next check was 48 grand. You know what I mean? So, and I'm 21 years old. But here's the deal. When people say no money out of pocket or no money down real estate, or in my case, I got YouTube channels that say even if you're broke, you don't have to, broke is a terminology and people don't really understand that. Mm-hmm. Broke is a terminology.
Sometimes it's a mentality.
Sometimes it's a mentality. Very true. Very true.
Sometimes it's a mentality.
And you took the words right out of my mouth, because sometimes it's a mentality as well. But at the end of the day, because you might have a broke mindset. If you have a broke mindset, you'll never make it work. That ties into
never make it work.
What the person was saying, and keep investing in place and et cetera, right? But if you have an abundance mindset, you can buy real estate with no money out of pocket.
Yeah, right.
We discussed wholesaling real estate earlier today.
Yeah,
it doesn't require you to have money to do that. Another thing when it comes to no money down real estate, when you're structuring these deals, so the no money down situation comes during your negotiation, not physically putting the money out of your pocket.
Yep.
Right.
It's how you negotiate the deal.
Right.
And here's where I was going with it. Most people don't want to invest into the education to learn the skill set that's going to take for them to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. They just hear even if you're broke, and they're like, well, I'm broke. I want to do this too.
Right. Yeah. Or they're willing to spend the money for the education.
Some people are just not willing to do it, man.
Right. And
they'll rather go buy a pair of Jordans.
You were mentioning this earlier, where you talk with people that have $20,000, $40,000, $60,000 of debt because of the multitude
bad education,
because of bad education, or because of a habit of believing that just taking the course is going to get you.
You got to do the work, man.
Right. And so just taking the course doesn't get the money. It's the action that you take. It's the risk that you take. It's getting out of your comfort zone and going and getting it done.
Your coach ain't going to do it for you, man.
They're not. And it's you putting yourself in the uncomfortable spot to do the things that it takes to get it done. Because, I don't know many, you walked in, we're talking about it more, but I've heard multiple stories of people, and it's unfortunate because, for one, I think one of the perceptions is that the people that are offering the courses are offering subpar courses, which I would agree are out there.
Yeah,
right?
there are.
Yeah,
but there's an offering that people are out there promoting, right? Mm-hmm. And we can say it's all the bad coach, right? Mm-hmm. Or we can say it is all the person, right? It may be a myriad of both, but the reality is there is coaching out there that isn't great, that doesn't get the job done. But there's coaching that's great.
Hey, what's up? It's Jamel Gibbs, your family-oriented entrepreneur. Listen, I really appreciate you watching this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.